Time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, every day's another adventure. Welcome to the Tuesday KVJ show. Today's adventure, we're going to find out if Bird has got COVID today.
What?
Yes. We'll see. He says he woke up with a fever and a sore throat.
Oh, great.
Yes, right?
I mean, I might just cheat and get this vaccine on the DL from the people that are offering it to me because I don't want to catch COVID in the final weeks before I get the vaccine.
Okay. When was it you had it before?
With you, back in August.
Okay. So you don't know if you have antibodies still or not.
I don't know. I mean, don't they say usually the antibodies go away after like 4 months or something?
I don't know if they said definitively. I think that you're pretty good.
Tom Hanks said they went and got tested for antibodies like 8 months after they had it, and the antibodies were gone.
Oh, okay. Might be a case-by-case basis as to how long you have them for, so... Yeah, well, you're almost there.
So close.
Yesterday, they opened up to, people 50 and over in the state of Florida to get the vaccine?
50 and older, or if you have any kind of pre-existing condition.
And they think in the next month, I believe, everybody's going to be in the free and clear to get it if they want?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Okay, all right. So you're almost there, Virginia. You just got to hold out. Everybody's got to hold out.
It's just a
little bit longer.
I'm ready to put all this behind me. I'm done.
Yeah, I know. I think pretty much everybody's about done with it. They've had enough, one way or the other. So we'll see. I think at 11 o'clock he's got an appointment today, but we couldn't have Bird come in when he's got those two key symptoms. So
sore throat and a fever. But he hasn't really gone anywhere, has he? Has he been doing stuff without telling us, like secretly living some party life?
Now, Denny's brought up the only thing that's changed is his dad came in from Texas, and I think his dad was not feeling well.
Really?
Yeah.
His dad's sick too?
I think that's what he had said in the text. He didn't know. He was a little off.
Oh my gosh.
So who knows?
I'm hitting the panic button over here.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, somebody's got to, Virginia.
That's what I do.
Okay. So that's the story about Bird today. So we'll have to soldier along, but we'll see and check in with him and see how he's doing. And then a little bit later on today, if you follow us on social media, I'm sure after he gets his test, we'll be posting whether or not did the Bird wait one entire year.
Right before he's able to get the vaccine.
Yes.
He brings COVID in here.
Well, he wanted to be able to say that he can join the club, and he had it as well. So we don't know yet. We'll find out at 11 o'clock today. We'll keep you posted. But like I said, another day, another adventure.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, Chelsea Handler's always making those little funny videos. She's all over social media. Most recently, I watched her skiing down a mountain topless.
Okay.
And shooting a video of herself. Well, she, I guess, was getting a little bit too goofy and skied into a tree.
What?
She has torn her meniscus and broken 2 toes.
Dang.
When she ran into a tree.
Wow, that skiing's no joke.
Maybe you got to focus on skiing and not making silly videos.
That's taking some people out. Remember Cher's ex-husband, Sonny Bono?
Yep, skied into a tree and died.
Yeah, he did.
This is the second time she's run into a tree.
Wow.
So,
okay.
You may want to focus.
She might want to ski in bubble wrap.
Or get an instructor or some help.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres' ratings are down considerably. Have you seen the numbers?
No, I haven't.
They say it's down 43%.
Wow, really? Dang, okay.
Say financially, too, the show is taking a big hit.
Sure.
The advertisers just aren't lining up like they used to. Her contract does run through next year, and there will be a 19th season, so that's the next one coming up, but nobody's making any promises for after that. I mean, when you lose 43% of your audience, that is a big kick in the shorts.
Well, I know the big thing, too, is a lot of times you get paid on the numbers you had, and when you're not getting those kind of numbers, they're saying, hey, we can't have the advertising to match how much you cost, so at this point, the show's actually losing money.
Ew.
Yeah.
And finally here, Cardi B is coming for the haters. Here she is talking about she broke some Billboard records, but, people are always going to hate.
Okay.
I don't gotta prove myself to nobody, because y'all be claiming that, y'all want females to strive and all that, but that's a lie. Y'all be hating. Get over with. The more hate y'all think, the more harder I get, the more that I have to talk about for my album. Stop hating. And let me tell you something. When I win, it doesn't take away from other women's success neither. Stop crying. Stop crying. Yeah. Stop crying. Thank you so much.
Okay.
She's just a constant stream of consciousness.
Yeah, she is.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, her newest track, Up, went to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and that's what that's all about. That's her second single to go number 1. First one was Bodak Yellow. She is the first woman rapper to earn that accomplishment, and I think that's where all the hate came from, because there's always the comparisons with either her and Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj, and so anytime one of them does well, then a fight starts.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going on in your dirt.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Okay, well, we got Bird out today. He's a little off. We don't know exactly with what. No official diagnosis yet. That's what he's got on his mind. So there you go. Virginia, we'll start off with you today. What do you have on your mind?
I fired up some crawfish. You want a little crawfish for breakfast?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want one? They're so
Yeah,
nice.
why not?
Reach in there, grab you one.
Why not? Crawfish. Oh, boy. We got crawfish juice just went on the control board.
Oh, boy. They're very juicy. I like them real wet.
Okay. Well, the board does too. All right. Let's...
Denny's, will you partake with us? It's crawfish season.
I'll wait till later. I'm a
just dropped a crawfish bomb on us. That is going to reek in here forever now. You just... Oh, boy. Crawfish in the morning.
It's so yummy.
Yeah.
I can eat it in the morning. I can eat it at night.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Any time of day. If they're crawfish, I am eating them.
I'm covered in crawfish juice. I'm going to reek of crawfish all day. Oh, boy.
It sucks that Jbird's not here because I planned to do all this to him.
Oh, I know, yeah.
He hates
somebody's
got to
get it right.
He hates the smell.
Oh, he would be hating this so much.
He'd be so mad.
Yeah. Well, that's...
I wish he was here. I wish he had crawfish juice on him.
You can only hope. All right, let's see here. You got to pull out the tail. And...
Yeah, suck the head, Kevin.
I know.
Suck the head. That's where all the juice and the flavor and the seasoning is.
Oh, yeah. Seasoning's great.
You
Virginia.
like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a
You do
good
the
batch.
stuff.
It's a real good batch. Mm-hmm. My husband's boss, who's also from New Orleans, he's the one that had those flown in from his special seafood connection, and they are big and they are delicious.
Crawfish is good. You just have to be. It just has to be past,
Noon.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little early.
Yeah, you're a regular person. See, I could eat them anytime.
I see you're taking a little break over there from Jbird's mic, Denny.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. He's not in, so I didn't want to use his mic, so I kind of just activated mine, and I'm sitting near
It's
it.
probably a good call.
Yeah, I thought of it last second.
The COVID mic.
You just don't know until, we get results and stuff.
How sick is his dad?
I don't know. I only seen him the very first day he was in, and it was very briefly as I was leaving, so I didn't even get much interaction with him, and I didn't really ask about him being sick then.
But his dad came from Texas, and they said there's no COVID in Texas. COVID's over in Texas.
Yeah, so I think Bird is just doing the COVID test for due diligence. I don't know if he necessarily has COVID, but I think he is feeling...
Well, he said fever and sore throat, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a bad...
It's a bad indicator, so I got my fingers crossed.
That's a tough indicator. That's usually how it begins, right?
Yes. Geez, fingers crossed.
Uh-huh. I don't want to step on what you might have on your mind. One thing I did want to talk about is Jbird was telling me yesterday that you're looking at getting a poker tournament going.
Yeah, I am. So I did a remote over at the Kennel Club, and I seen the poker tables they had, and it was going off in there.
They have a big poker setup.
Well, so I love poker. I've been playing poker forever. It's one of my favorites, and so I mean, it's gotten easier with the apps, you know. So I just play on the apps these days because it used to be I'd get with my friends, you'd have to get a group together, and then COVID happened, so there was no poker, and it was all just on the app. But I haven't played in a while, and I was talking about how I got that itch back again, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I do the Texas Hold'em. I originally did 5-card draw, and then it turned into Texas Hold'em because that's the only one that anyone seems to play.
There's something about cards when you get into them. My family's doing that in the pandemic when you couldn't do anything. We pretty much every weekend were just playing cards for about 3 months there. And we really got into it. It was fun.
Did you guys play poker at all?
We didn't do poker. We did other games, but any of those games, poker would be fun. I would get into it.
I used to always carry, and I still do, a deck of cards just in case I get trapped somewhere. Nowadays, you got cell phones. There's so much stuff to do. But back in the day, there was nothing to do. I always carried cards. I played solitaire.
If you always have cards with you, I can see why they're so popular in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can kill a lot of time getting into a card game, and it's fun. It stays fun.
Gambling takes it to the next level. Not that I encourage gambling, but it really does makes poker thrive. Otherwise, there's nothing on the line. There's no real reason to ever feel bad about a hand.
It's honestly with anything, if you gamble on it, it becomes more exciting.
It does.
You've got Little League sports. There are people out there betting on kids' sports.
What's the most you ever won?
Well, so, I mean, it's hard to say because a lot of times we just play. I used to play with my buddies. I mean, almost every weekend, like clockwork. There used to, when TV shows would come out, we watch a TV show and play poker. It was pretty much just like clockwork. And then, big holidays, we'd always play poker. And then a couple places that I worked at would have poker leagues, and I'd jump in a table every now and then for fun. But mainly, it's the online stuff. But I mean, online, I have somewhere in like 5 million range. But it's obviously fantasy and. But it's a pain because if you lose your chips, you have to work to get your chips back. So there is stuff to lose, and there's nothing worse than losing 2 people.
Okay, so it's not real money you're playing with on the online games.
That's what's the bummer about it. That's why I'm kind of itching to. I was telling Bird we should get a league going, get some people that are passionate about it, and it's a lot of fun to play. I mean, super low stakes, but it is very fun to leave with $50 to $80. Just from hanging out with your friends.
Yeah. That is a good time.
And the worst case scenario, you lose a little less than $100. It's not the end of your,
But
life.
it's more fun to take your friend's money.
Definitely. There's no greater feeling than when somebody feels like they have a higher hand than you and you just drop it.
Yeah.
It's the greatest. So it's one of the best games, too, because everybody starts off even. Nobody knows what anyone has. And the whole game, a lot of stuff in the game is, and everybody knows, there's a psychological game to it, but you can bully people out of great hands. That's what's so cool about the game. Yeah. Somebody can have pocket rockets right from the get-go.
Oh, what's pocket rockets?
2 aces right from your opening hand is 2 aces.
He's even throwing some poker lingo at us, Virginia.
I'm learning.
Well, so this guy. If you got opening hand, you got 2 aces, you're already in a great spot. That means you could bet high right away if you want, but if you bet too high right away, then people know you got a good hand, so you have to kind of play it.
Okay.
So a lot of times, but then you see what comes out next, and then if somebody gets excited and they're betting higher, then most likely they got a hand. So you got to kind of watch them to make sure if they actually really do, or if they're trying to bully you out of betting for the next hand.
Okay,
so that's what makes
I can see it right now. I know Bird would be into it.
Oh, he loves it. He likes the psychological game. I don't know if he necessarily likes the card game as much.
He likes talking crap.
Yeah.
He does.
He's a bluffer.
He is a bluffer. When you play him in Risk too. He goes after the craziest continents. He just is so adamant about it. You're like, he must have a strategy, but I don't know if he ever does.
He doesn't have a strategy.
No, he just likes bullying people.
Yeah, he just likes to weird you out.
He does.
What I got on my mind here today, unfortunately, we had this with the Honda Classic. It's, sports are starting to happen, and we're getting some of these big events that happen in South Florida, and I always look forward to the Honda Classic, a great social event. But then you had people that were bowing out. Tiger Woods couldn't make it in there for obvious reasons. Brooks Koepka couldn't make the Honda Classic. And now it looks like the same kind of thing is hitting the Miami Open, which I'm like, okay, this may be the next big social event here in South Florida. Serena Williams has had to withdraw from the Miami Open, and you've also had on Sunday Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer. They are all out of the Miami Open. So all these big names that were going to make the Miami Open, not going to be there. So, yeah, kind of tough. So maybe this isn't the year whenever we get everything kind of back and cranking. So unfortunately, I was kind of bummed by that, see that was going on. But there's still a lot of good stuff going on this week. You got spring training baseball still going on. You got the Heat, Panthers playing. And did you know that the boat show kicks off on Thursday, Virginia?
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah, on Flagler and West Palm Beach. They've been getting all ready for that. It's all kinds of fun little parties. If you can get tickets into that, you can go watch drunk people buy boats they can't afford. So it's a good time. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we've got some random questions going to be thrown at you, including, would you take $5 million to disappear from Earth for 10 years starting now? We'll get everybody's thoughts on that next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
I got some random questions for everybody here. Would you take $5 million to disappear from Earth for 10 years, but you got to start right now, Virginia?
No.
Not going to take $5 million for the next 10 years.
No, I would miss crucial years of my kids. I can't do that.
Okay.
Maybe if they were already on their own,
Okay.
I would consider it.
Okay.
But,
Not now. Not doing it, huh?
I got to raise them right.
Okay. I just do dumb things with the money anyway, so.
I can't be trusted.
Yeah.
With that much cash at once.
Yeah. I won't use it wisely anyway. Probably lose it in a year and then regret. Be like, wait, what am I doing? Okay, aside from drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine, what are you addicted to? Do you have something that's not one of the traditionals that you would say you are addicted to, Virginia?
Crawfish.
Yeah, you're over there like a junkie. Just put it straight in your veins.
I love it so
Here you're over there
much.
slurping and sucking and making all kinds of noises. Bird would be so disgusted if he were here.
He would be so pissed.
Oh, he'd just be like, oh.
I'm so sad he's not here.
You just you got a whole plate of just dead crawfish over there.
Oh, I killed that plate in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you did. Slurping and sucking, the noises that were coming from over there.
But half the fun of eating these crawfish in here is terrorizing him with it.
Yeah.
It's a half-hearted crawfish effort today.
You're lacking some of the joy.
I am.
Yeah, he stole your joy. Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, I would say for me, if there was something other than the drugs, alcohol, tobacco, caffeine that I am addicted to.
Addicted.
You know what? I would say probably the chicken wings. I am like a junkie on them chicken wings because I get too many, and I wolf them down, and then I immediately want more. I wake up the next day, and I may be in a little bit of a chicken wing hangover, but you know what? I still want it and need it. And I keep chasing that original high.
A good chicken wing is special.
Oh, there's nothing better, Virginia. Nothing,
I agree
Virginia.
with you.
If I had him, I'd have a plate of bones over here. We'd both be grossing out Bird. Okay, what is something from your youth that you regret not doing? Something from your youth that you regret not doing. I would say if I had anything from my youth, and it was the plan, but radio sucked me out of it, was when I graduated from college, I was going to do that whole thing where I just kind of backpack through Europe and just see where the world takes me kind of thing.
Travel before you have kids and
Right.
a job and responsibilities and bills. Travel more.
And I just want to see if it took me somewhere else. Would I have wound up staying somewhere, who knows, or ran into somebody that, would have whatever. So that's probably the only thing. If there's any regret, I just wonder if I would have got to that because I left college one quarter, which we did quarters. So it was 3 months. I left 2 months before my graduation and got into radio. If it would have been another 3 months before I got in the job offer, who knows, Virginia?
Yeah, you might have ended up in Italy and still be there today.
I could have that Jbird's Pizzeria that he wants in Italy. That might have been it. Is there anything that you regret not doing from your youth?
Definitely the travel thing. I think too, I should have done what you did. When you moved to town, we were both in our early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah.
You bought a house right away. I really think I should have done that too because I mean, we've been here now, 23 years almost.
Yeah.
And if I would have bought a house, it'd be almost paid off.
Right, yeah.
All that money, all those years that we all spent on rent.
Yeah. I know.
Rent
yeah.
is just it's not good.
I got like 7 years left, and then
Wow, you're almost done.
Yeah, and then I'll move on to something else. Okay, if you could have any car in the world, what would you drive? I know your daughter Magnolia's hitting you up for an Audi.
She wants an Audi. You know what I would like? I want one of those tricked out Sprinter vans. Have you seen them where
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they take the inside and they turn it into like a limo or a party bus?
My wife is all about them. She wants the ones that you go and kind of travel and stay in. And every time she sees one of those Sprinter vans, she's like, that's our van.
It's a little mini house on wheels.
Yeah.
That thing is cool. I want that. But I want the tricked out one with the raised roof where you can stand up full on in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be cool to have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
No.
Would that be a cool vehicle to have?
When I worked radio in New York City,
Yeah.
I had to do one whole summer where I was the wiener girl. I was in the radio crew with the Wienermobile. It stinks of that thing. That thing is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was gnarly.
Yeah, I think if I could have it, it's not necessarily a car, so I don't know if this is kind of cheating, but there was a party bus one time. I went to the Florida-Georgia game, and it was so tricked out. It had benches inside, it had a full bar in there. There was a dance club on top of the bus that you would climb up a little ladder and be on. I'm like, this is the coolest vehicle on planet Earth. I think that's the one I would want. But car-wise, I don't know enough about cars. There's some cool little sedans that
Yeah.
I like. I've seen the Aston Martins and, cars like that. I'm like, that's kind of cool. The fancy cars you see around South Florida.
I don't like a little sports car, though. I feel like bigger is better.
I'm a sedan guy.
I
Yeah.
want something big.
Okay. All right. What movie-worthy heist would you pull off if you knew in the end you could get away with it?
Oh.
To me, it's easy. It's the Ocean's 11. That is the
Totally.
coolest movie, the coolest heist, making a ton of money. You feel like you're kind of like, screwing over the big guys, so you don't really care about taking their money. So there's no guilt at the end.
That or the Italian Job, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
The heist, the bank heist.
There's also that one show on Netflix a lot of people have seen. It was a show from Spain called Casa de Papel and House of Paper, and it's called Money Heist, if you watch the English version.
Okay.
And they break into the treasury, and they have this whole thing where they take all the money out of the treasury and make a ton of money doing that.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a pretty cool heist, too.
Yeah.
So those are my favorites. I think to be a part of mankind and to call yourself a true American, there is a list of movies that you need to say, yeah, I've seen that. I know what's going on. And if you haven't, you got to get on that list and you got to be able to say, because it's just standard. It's American folklore. It's just what we are. It's what unites us, brings us all together. Entertainment Weekly came up with a list of movies kids must see before they grow up. There's like 100 movies that are on here. Some of them I would put higher on the list than others, but they go anywhere from the most recent to all the way back to The Wizard of Oz and The Sound of Music, which I didn't know if anybody was even still watching those, but those are classic movies that I grew up with as a kid, maybe two of the earliest movies I ever watched. And it's still fantastic. I probably went 30 years between seeing The Sound of Music, watched it probably 5 years ago. I'm like, that's still a solid movie.
It holds up.
You got to watch that. That's just one thing that you've got to see. So some of the ones that they suggested here, anything going back to the 80s with like an E.T., Extraterrestrial, The Goonies, The Princess Bride is one that is on the list. Home Alone.
Home Alone is so good.
That's one of those movies anymore, and that might even be a top 10 movie, where if you haven't seen that, I don't know if you can call yourself an American.
We turned Rocco onto it at Christmas time, and he is obsessed. Loves it.
It is. It's a great, you know what? It's one of those movies you can watch like every single year.
Totally. And it stands the test of time, too. Some of these movies, you go back and you watch them, and you're like, well, it's not as good as I remember.
Yeah.
Not Home Alone.
There are a lot of animated movies that they put on this list of the movies kids must see before they grow up. Finding Nemo, Frozen, Moana, Toy Story, at least Toy Story 2, and Coco they put on the list.
Yeah, those are all solid.
And also they've got the Minion movies that are in there. And if you had to say, Virginia, what would you think is the most important animated movie of all time that a kid needs to watch?
Animated, I think The Little Mermaid. That
Really?
to me is my favorite Disney of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. The story is beautiful.
Okay.
But non-animated, I would say Mary Poppins.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
That's my
That is an
favorite.
all-time classic.
Love it.
Jbird would be happy to see if he were here. The Karate Kid from 2010. Wait, 2010? Oh, they put the remake in here. Oh, he'd be so upset. Entertainment Weekly's listing the Karate Kid remake from 2010. I'm like, wait, 2010?
He doesn't even like that version.
It says this remake of the 1984 classic is geared toward a slightly younger audience with the help of a talented Jaden Smith. That's the one they put in. Oh, man. Yeah, that would have killed the list for Bird. Other ones that they got in here, some baseball-themed movies, Sandlot, A League of Their Own. Those are movies that kids got to see before they grow up. I would agree with this. The original Star Wars trilogy, what are you doing? If you haven't seen at least the original 3, you got to get on that. Would you say Babe, Pig in the City, or just Babe?
Babe, the original is
Babe,
great.
the original.
Yeah, I love Babe. That'll do, Peg.
Yeah. They put Space Jam in here from 1996. I know they're doing the remake of it. I've never seen Space Jam because it looks terrible.
I've never seen it either. Doesn't everybody make fun of it?
I don't know. I mean, they're doing another one, but I never watched it because I thought it was going to be absolutely terrible. So if this is a list that you got to be a true American to see, I'm not a true American. I don't know if I would watch that. The Harry Potter series, especially the Sorcerer's Stone from 2001, they say these are the movies that all kids must see. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory made the list, Virginia.
Yeah, Bird would be happy about that.
Oh, yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. They've also got Big on here.
Great movie.
Can't argue that. They got some of the Spider-Man movies, and I would say the Tobey Maguire series. That's the one to go with. The other ones,
The first
you're
one.
all right to miss them.
I loved the first one.
It was great.
With Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst.
The first 2 that they did were fantastic.
Yes.
They put Ghostbusters from 1984, a movie that all kids must see. You've got a lot of animated ones in here. Pretty much any animated one that they have is in this. They put in Peter Pan from 2003. I don't know if I'm feeling that one. Did Johnny Depp do one?
I can't remember if he did.
Yeah, you're right. You're not the person to ask.
I'm not the good movie person.
I forgot, yeah.
We need the Bird for this.
Yeah.
But he's out sick today.
Yeah. Neverending Story, Elf have also
Elf.
made the list.
Oh my gosh, every Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have that one in there. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, but they list that as one that all kids need to see. Cars, they've got in there. And then the Shrek series is one. And then The Lion King. So there you go. That's a pretty solid list. If there's anything else that you feel they left off of it, you can hit us up, 877-979-WRMF. 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Leslie said. I don't know. That seems more like a teenager thing. Would you say that's a kid thing?
Oh, but 16 Candles.
They're good.
That is a great movie.
Junior high kids. I'd say junior high kids. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Another one. Awesome.
Junior high, no doubt. Blind Side, I would say yes on that. That's one of my favorites.
That's a good one.
And somebody said Forrest Gump. Is that one that kids are going to like? Or is that too adult?
I told you, I don't like Gump. They're so mean to him.
It's too tough.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you can text those into us, 877-979-WRMF. I just let you know, Jbird woke up today. He has a fever and a sore throat, and we don't know what that means. So he's getting a COVID test today at 11. Does our company still have that policy that if you get a positive COVID, you're sidelined for 14 days, or have we reduced that
I think it's 10.
That we reduced it to 10 now?
Yeah, well, one of our bosses had it recently, and she's been out for a couple weeks now.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll find out. We'll post up on social when we find out what Bird's diagnosis is, but with undue caution. If you got a fever and a sore throat in this pandemic era, you cannot come into work.
Do not.
Yes. So.
Well, his dad's not feeling well, you said. So.
Yeah, that's what he said in the text.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so we'll find out today at 11 what's going on with the Bird, but that's why he is not with us today, unfortunately. Got a few celebrities having a birthday today. Happy birthday. Goes out to Perez Hilton. I'll let you know he's the creator of that legendary website. Was it PerezHilton.com?
Yes.
Okay. The gossip guy is 43 today. Carrie Russell, she used to be Felicity. Recently, she was on The Americans, doing other things as well. She hits 45 today. Also got some birthday shout-outs here today. Want to give a shout-out to Lorelei, turning 5. See my sexy tall glass of water. Matthew's turning 35. That's another shout-out there. Lorelei was born on his 30th birthday. Best present ever. Carly sent that in, so I guess they both share the same birthday. How cute. Also, happy 9th birthday to Ryder from Mom, Dad, Colby, and Mako. We got a birthday shout-out for Thomas Threm, turning 50. He lives in Boynton Beach, and apparently the shout-out comes all the way from Michigan.
Aw.
And Nancy had sent that in. She said, Thomas got me hooked on your show while I was down there. So
I love it.
yeah.
Thank you, Thomas.
Also, we got a birthday shout-out here. Rich, from his wife, sons Rocky, Atreyu, and his grandson Elias. So happy birthday to Rich. Thank you guys for listening, for sending in your shout outs. You can do them too. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. If you want a birthday shout out here on the KVJ show, we got that for you anytime you want. Your husband just texted me and said, you know, that song sounds like the Goodbye Horses from Silence of the Lambs. Kind of does. I think Denny's was playing that next to that. And it's got kind of that creepy vibe. Like, I kind of like it, but a part of me feels really kind of weirded and creeped out by it.
The Weeknd does kind of creepy music, but I like it.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got
a big
that
fan.
creepy
Yeah.
vibe, but
He does.
It just feels good.
It's working for him. Yeah, it's I love what he's doing as well. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that's great. Yesterday we were talking about the Harry Styles.
Yes.
Doing so good.
Those might be my favorite things that we're playing. New music from The Weeknd and that Harry Styles Golden song.
Yeah. Both big things. But you know, the thing that's interesting is I've been a fan of music since the 80s. So, I mean, I got 3-4 generations of music that I've loved. And, you know, I even loved stuff before I was even born. It's just kind of interesting to see how music has changed and where it is. In fact, I was just right now looking through some of the big songs that we're playing coming up. And I'm like, that song's only 2 minutes. That song's like 1:40. I'm like, you would never see songs that length. You know, when I first got into radio, music was 4.5 minutes. 5 minutes is what you would think on your standard song. It's half that length now.
I was in classic rock when I first started. Those songs
Yeah.
are like 6, some of them 7 minutes long.
Well, it's a different game today. And I'm looking, you know, coming up, I got a Linkin Park song, Staring Me in the Face, and that's from 2003. That song is 3.5 minutes. And it's almost, The Weeknd was 3.5, but that's almost kind of a rarity to see a song that's that long. In fact, right now, the average number one hit song clocks in at just over 3 minutes. They say it's down nearly a full minute from the early 2000s.
Because our attention spans aren't what they used to be.
No.
We're quick hits.
Yeah, we are quick hits. I think we consume music differently. And I got that one time. I remember my daughter was just a teenager and she was in the car controlling the music and we were listening to her stuff. And she would only listen to 90 seconds of each song. And I'm like, don't you listen to it's kind of driving me crazy. She would just listen to the first part of it in the hook. And then she would be on to the next one. And then I started to realize, you know what, this is how younger people, they don't have the attention span. They don't want to commit to like 3.5 minutes to them feels like an eternity because it is.
Dad, the whole song is for old people.
Right. And I think they started realizing that, saying, why are we putting an extra minute into this song when nobody's listening to it anyway? They can see when people clock out of it. And talking about Harry Styles, this is a guy that was in One Direction, which was a group. And now they've all split up. They're doing their own things. And there seems to be maybe something to this, that they're finding out that artists are having more success as solo artists than being in a band. You look at Selena Gomez. She had the scene with her. You know what she did? She ditched the scene.
Bye.
They ain't no scene anymore. It's just Selena Gomez.
It's probably a lot easier to manage the whole thing when it's just you. I mean, think about it. If you have a collaboration, 4 different people, 4 different opinions about how things should go down, like, that's hard.
I think part of it, too, is marketing. Because when you have one person that's in the spotlight, that's all you're focused on. When you have a band, you've got usually, like, look at Maroon 5. You've got an Adam Levine and then a bunch of guys you don't know. So why even bother messing with a bunch of unknown dudes that nobody's going to take the time to investigate on And I wonder if Adam Levine would go back, would he be Maroon 5 or would he just be Adam Levine?
That's a great question.
Because he's saying that he's like, man, there aren't any bands anymore. And people are like going, come on, what do you mean there's no bands? And people are all over him about it. But somebody kind of broke it down. Now, these are the UK Top 100 charts, but it's very similar to what we have going on here in America. And they said on the UK Top 100 singles, they said there are only 9 groups in the top 100, 9 groups total, and only 1 in the top 40. So there's 39 solo artists, 1 actual group in the top 40.
Wow.
And 2 are the Killers and Fleetwood Mac. And you look at the Killers, and if you think the Killers is a young band, they ain't a young band. My 23-year-old kids were like 7 when they were cranking out hits. Their first album, 2004, 17 years ago? So they've got 17 songs in 44 years when you're talking about those 2 bands. And they say Spotify's top 50 most played songs globally right now, there's only 3 groups, even in that, if you look at the global. It's BTS, a band called The Neighborhood, which unless you listen to Alternative, you don't know. So they said that even though a lot of people gave Adam Levine crap for his comment, there's actually a lot of truth to it. When you only have 1 band in the top 40 and you have 39 solo artists, there's really not any bands anymore.
But it is fun to give Adam Levine crap.
I agree, and I think we should continue to give Adam Levine crap, but
Every
for many
chance.
other things.
We should always ride him hard.
Absolutely. For many other things, though, he's definitely deserving. Well, I hate to do this without Jbird here today. He woke up with a sore throat and a fever, and I remember when I had the vid, I woke up not with a fever, but with a sore throat. Day 1. I was like, oh, man, what's going on here? I thought, okay, I had the bronch, and
Well, he said his dad wasn't feeling well, and then he's not feeling well, so he's going to get a COVID test today at 11. And then if he gets a positive COVID test, we have to go get COVID tests.
oh, geez. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about the whole trickle down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you don't work any closer than being locked in a tiny room with somebody.
yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Oh, I was all up in his grill yesterday. During commercial, I was booty dancing on him because it annoys him.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I do that?
Got too close.
I got too close.
Yeah. Well, and just the other day, we were doing that smell my mask.
Yeah.
What if he got the vid from that?
No, there were fresh masks.
Oh, that's right. But we breathed on him first.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that? That's how it all went
I
down.
haven't felt anything, though. I don't have any sore throat, none of that, no fever.
No, I feel amazing, actually. As bad as he feels, I feel twice as good. So he's going in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Keep your COVID out of here.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to be bummed by this. There's some snack news here. So I hate to do a snack report without Bird.
Oh, I have a little snack news, too.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Throw it right into the mix here.
Hit me with what you got.
Lay's. Does this sound good to you? Fried pickles with ranch.
Ooh, yes.
That is a new flavor that is coming back. They had it initially in 2018, 2019, and now they say it's just a limited time. So they've kind of found their McRib that they just throw out, and a lot of brands are doing that. And I think, you're probably going to start seeing that with Oreo, with all their different ones that kind of sell well, but not well enough to keep on the market all the time. They'll be like, okay, it'll come back for 6 weeks or a couple months every year. So, yeah, they're going to be bringing back the fried pickles with ranch. I kind of like the fried pickle concept. I don't know if you keep me with the ranch, though. I don't know. Do I want that with
Pickles
the fried
and
pickle?
ranch, they go good together. When you get the fried pickles hot out the fryer
Okay.
and you dip them, that sauce that's usually served with a ranch.
Okay.
That's really good.
The places that really do fried pickles well, it's not a ranch. They do a special different kind of,
Like a dill.
yeah, I don't know what kind it
Okay.
is, but it's a different kind of sauce, but it's not ranch. Kellogg's is bringing back their cereal straws. They're edible straws that will make your milk taste like different cereals.
That's
They
cool.
Had them out in 2007, but then they took them off the market in 2009. They got 2 flavors coming out, Fruit Loops and Cocoa Krispies.
Okay.
And they go on sale in October.
Rocco would love that.
I was going to say, yeah, you're probably buying on that.
Rocco and Jbird.
Well, you know what? Jbird he's been really trying to blame Denny's for a lot of his problems. And he was kind of throwing Denny's under the bus the other day that Denny's has got him hooked on these cereal candy bars. And he said the other day he was blaming Denny for, what was it, muffins?
Yeah.
He said that Denny's got him hooked on muffins and he's been putting on all this weight. And
What happened?
Jbird's always a notorious junk food pusher around here, and now he's trying to pin it on you and make you seem like such a scoundrel, Denny's, that you're getting them all fat and it's your fault.
Well, so at the studio at my place,
Yeah.
I'm infamously known for having the worst snacks because I eat very healthy snacks. Everything I got's like non-GMO. It's got no gluten, all that fun stuff.
It's stuff he hates.
Every time he comes over, I got to hear flack about how awful my snacks are. And sometimes he'll eat half of it and spit it out and complain about it. So it's pretty rough to deal with each time.
Right, you
'Cause
get dude.
I'm down a snack and I'm getting ragged on.
Right.
So to be courteous, I bought sodas. I loaded up my fridge for just
Okay.
Jbird sodas.
Yeah.
And I bought a ton of these like candy snack bars that are based on cereals. I just assumed he would like them.
Rocco loves those. They have like a Honey Nut Cheerios
Yep.
bar.
Oh,
Get everyone.
Yeah.
It's like Honey Nut Cheerios on top. And there's like a glaze that holds it like a granola bar.
Yep.
And then there's like some kind of milky cream on the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's kind of hooked on them because I mean, I must have bought. It was a buy one get one, so I bought 4 boxes of it. I think he ate 2 boxes when he first tried it. He couldn't believe how good
So
they were.
he plowed through 2 boxes.
Which is,
on
I
the
think,
way.
is 8 of them.
He's like the family dog. He'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and won't stop.
They'll go
no.
Ralph and they'll keep eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, I have to keep an abundance of them. So when he comes over, but I mean, I think he's hooked on them now because he eats like 6 at a time.
Yeah, he would say it was your fault. You got him hooked, and now he can't stop. I think he's buying them all the time, and he's just sitting at home and eating these cereal
Yeah, well,
bars.
now he's buying them at his house because it's transferred over to his home house. And now he's pounding through these boxes at home and coming to my place and eating 4 of them at least.
Is he still on the muffins that you got him hooked
I think
on?
he's off the muffins. I think this is taking over the muffins. The muffins were expensive, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Because he was going to those dessert muffins, the really fancy ones, the ones that are
Oh, yeah.
$8 a pop.
Otis Spunkmeyer.
Even higher than that. He's going to the Kraft muffins.
You notice he's always got to have a fix.
Always.
There's always something that he's got to be, and it's never healthy.
No. And I've been trying to get him on, and he'll probably bring this up too. I've been trying to get him to take those ginger shots. I make,
Oh, yeah. I do them every
I
every
love
day
them.
I
I
do
do
a
them.
ginger
I do
shot.
them every
Yeah.
day at like 3 p.m. I do them
Yeah.
right in the middle of the day to kind of help with the evening digestion.
It perks
Right.
you up.
It's great.
Yeah,
It gives
they
you a
do.
second wind too. So
Yes.
I do love them, and
Yeah.
every time I give them to him, he complains it's making him sick.
It's too healthy.
I think that's what it is. It's so healthy, his body doesn't even know what it is.
You know what? They're kind of hot too. Ginger shots. If you do them, the more raw you do them, the more they're fired up. So he's got that tiny.
He's
little
tender.
tummy.
Tender on that. He complains about his throat hurting for like 20 minutes afterwards.
So you just go on ahead and give him all the junk food so he doesn't complain.
Yeah, it's just easier. I
But
give him
then
the
he
health
compl-
food.
But then he complains when Denny's gives him the food that he wants. He's getting him hooked.
Well, 2 days later, he starts, getting mad he's gaining weight from him.
I don't know how I just put on 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, you ate 87 cereal bars.
As a PSA, though, stay away from muffins. Nothing against the muffin industry, but that's how you gain weight immediately.
Okay.
You
All
can
right.
easily gain 5 pounds in 3 days.
I saw a little PSA.
Yes.
Okay. Did we mention your snack, Virginia?
I just saw this morning. Krispy Kreme is going to be
Oh, yeah.
offering donuts. If you go in and you show them your updated vaccination card that says you had either both shots or the first shot of the Johnson & Johnson, you get a free donut.
Now, I had a question. So can you keep going back?
Yes, every day for the
Every
rest of
day.
the year.
Wow.
All you do is you walk in, show
Yeah.
your vaccination card, and they give you a free donut.
Dang. That's made the best news come out of the pandemic.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Donut a day. Very cool. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, you often hear about relationship red flags, but what would you say are the relationship green flags? Where when you saw this thing fly, you knew right away this was a keeper. Is there something that stands out to you that is a big-time relationship green flag? We'll discuss next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
You're talking about the Krispy Kreme promotion where if you get the vaccination, you just bring in your card and they will give you a free donut. It seems like it's going on in perpetuity, right? There's no deadline on when that's ending?
It said just for this year, for the whole rest of the year.
Okay.
So all of 2021, go in there with your vaccination card, and they'll give you 1 donut.
Okay. There you go.
It's amazing.
Add to the obesity, which is good for COVID, right? I guess you don't have to worry about it after you get that vaccination. People want to know where the Krispy Kremes are. They've disappeared a little bit northern part of South Florida. I know there used to be one in Palm Beach that is gone, but they are in Deerfield. They've got Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Tamarack, I believe, has one. There's one right next to the Florida Turnpike, like around Lauderdale Lakes. There's one in North Miami and then one in Hialeah. So you do have several locations.
And it's good at all 369 stores in the whole country.
Oh, okay.
So all of them are participating.
Kind of started a little bit of a donut off. There's a little bit of a fight on who's got the best. Is it Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts, Jupiter Donuts, Mojo Donuts, and somebody threw out Voodoo Donuts that they have in Colorado. They said that that is the best donut that you'll ever have.
We've had the Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah.
They had those in Portland.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I have to do a poll on that because, nobody can agree on what is the absolute, who has the best donuts. Let us know if there's one there that I did not mention that we can put into the poll. We'll get that up on our website at kvjshow.com. Was asking you, too, you often hear about relationship red flags, things to look for where it's like, okay, this person's just no good. They're just character flaws you can see right away. But on the flip side, what are the relationship green flags? Where when you see right away, you're like, you know what? They might be a keeper. That could be a solid person. One of the texts that we got said, any guy treating his mom right and having manners. You know, it seems like manners have kind of gone by the wayside.
Manners with everybody. I love that. When you see somebody who's kind to people they don't have to be kind to, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody said sharing their last Twizzler. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Also, they bring your pets treats. It's a good way to kiss up.
That is.
It's not just you. And that is another one, too. I noticed a lot of people use their pets as a way to test out somebody that they're dating. If the pet likes them, they're like, okay, they're a good judge of character. If not, you might be screwed.
And are they a good pet parent? Because a lot of times, you can tell how somebody's going to be with kids. It's how they are with their pets.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Liking the same music, another relationship green flag. They like to travel. I know that's one of the big ones they always say when it comes to the dating sites. People who put down that remember they have like 5 buzzwords?
Yes.
You put those down. I know traveling's almost always one of those 5. Loving outdoor activities is a relationship green flag. Somebody who's a gamer. Okay. We said that, where if you are not on the same page when it comes to gaming, that's a tough way to start a relationship because you're just not going to get each other.
I'm so happy that Panda doesn't play video games.
Mm-hmm. Vicky had said the manners thing is so true. Open up a door. He always would walk, on the outside, even the curb. When we're walking on the sidewalk.
Curbside, yeah. He puts you on the inside to protect you.
Yeah, it just shows that you want somebody who's going to put you first in their thoughts, and that's a quick little test to be able to do that. Caitlin is checking in here, a good friend from Charlotte with a couple relationship green flags. What would you say, Caitlin, to add to the list?
So coming from a person who has dwarfism, my husband introduced me to his friends right away. He didn't hide me. He didn't try to say, oh, no, I'm not dating her or anything. He just introduced me. And I talked to him about that, and I said how much that meant to me. And he said, it took me 24 hours to accept the fact that you're a little person. And then after that, I didn't see height anymore. I just saw you for you.
Oh, that's
that was my green
sweet.
flag. And
Wow.
I said in my head, I'm going to marry this man. And I did.
Oh, that's an adorable story.
Yes. That's good. That's going to be a tough one to
Aw.
beat. That's great. Thanks for sharing, Caitlin. Glad
Yeah.
you're checking in.
Thank you.
Okay.
We've met your
Have a good day,
husband. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I got a beautiful family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. This might be one too. Somebody texted and said a relationship green flag. Somebody who doesn't necessarily ask you for nude pictures right away, and they don't try to sext on day one.
Yes, that's a big one.
Getting too sexual too fast.
I think if somebody's asking you for nudes and you guys have only been on a couple of dates, is this just what they do?
Right.
Are they just a dirty boy?
Right.
That's
what they're looking for.
It's not a turn on unless you're a dirty girl.
Well,
If a girl asks you for nudes, then yeah, send them to her. But I don't know, too much nude too quick makes me think, oh, they throw it.
well, that's not what they're saying. Somebody said, yeah, having the same interests. I could not be with a girl. Boat fishing is the one for me. If she's ready to go down fishing, she is the one for me. And somebody else had said, yeah, if I find a girl that likes Karate Kid and Mountain Dew, I go full gorilla on that. Is that Jbird texting in?
Is he texting us from his
It might be.
possible COVID pad?
Yeah, it might be. If you didn't hear, Jbird woke up with a fever and a sore throat today. So he's got a COVID test at 11. If he's positive, I have a COVID test at noon.
And I do too. We're all going to have to go get it.
Yeah, know how we're spending our day. We do have some people throwing in some other donut places to throw into the mix. Dandy Donuts in Hollywood. Actually, we got several texts about that, so I'll throw Dandy Donuts in there. Somebody said there's a Voodoo Donuts in Orlando at City Walk.
Ooh, I did not know that.
No, that's a good one to check out. Okay, so we'll add the Dandy Donuts to that list. I'll have Denny's get that cranking. We'll put links to that on our social media as well. Time for another exciting round, though, of Denny's or Animal here. We've got Stephanie from Boynton Beach checking in. Hello, Stephanie.
Hey, KVJ. Oh, no, Jay.
Oh, it's KVDS today. We always have to rearrange the initials.
It's very tricky. We got to change the logo and everything.
And it's so tough. It is so tough. Yes, Bird got a little bit of a fever today and a sore throat. We're hoping he's COVID negative.
Praying he's COVID
We'll
negative.
find out after 11. Stephanie, are you an animal enthusiast?
I love animals
Go ahead.
and Denny's.
I don't know. I don't know what's more cuddly, Virginia.
They're both
Denny's.
pretty sweet.
I think Denny's is more cuddly, but we'll see here. We've got some audio that I wanted to have last week, but apparently it was a little delayed. Remember that story I was telling you about how they're doing chicken yoga now? You know, the goat yoga was really big.
Yes.
And now some yoga studios, they take chickens and they put them in diapers. And then they'll climb on you, I guess, while you're doing yoga. I don't know why.
It's
but
amazing.
It's just something they do. Well, we finally have some audio. This is what it sounds like for some chicken yoga. But you got to tell me here, Stephanie, is this really chicken yoga or is this just Denny's making these noises?
All right, put your hand down and straighten your back. Now downward facing dog.
Oh, wow. That's what I thought it was like. Downward chicken. That's what I thought. Okay. What do you think about it? It sounds so relaxing, though, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm kind of buying into
I
chicken
want to
yoga.
go.
What do you think there, Stephanie? Is that Denny's or Animal on that one?
It breaks my heart to say it's Denny's because I really wish I could do that.
I know. Doesn't it sound nice? Wouldn't you love to do that? Yeah, that was actually Denny's.
My girlfriend, she's got chickens. I can set this up for us, Kevin.
You do, well, I think the key in all this is chicken diapers.
I'll diaper the chickens.
Okay. I think there's special chicken diapers. I think you can get them online. Just to let
Really?
you know.
I can't use a regular pamper?
No, I think in the story they had said they had special custom-made chicken diapers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the trick.
That's getting expensive.
I know that's where the whole problem is, but I don't know if regular Pampers work on regular chickens. But that's a good experiment too.
All right.
We'll find out.
I'll do the work.
Okay. Stephanie is 1 for 1 here. Second clip we got in Denny's or Animal is a man feeding pigeons on a bench. So we got a lot of fowl going on here. So what do you think about this? Is this Denny's or Animal with a man feeding pigeons on a bench?
Come here, pigeons. Get your bread.
Okay, so he's talking to the pigeons as well. Okay.
It's like a whole little skit now.
Well, it is. I mean, that's the whole fun of this. Stephanie, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal?
That would be Denny's and a very creepy man.
I was going to say, come and get your bread. I said, pigeons, get your bread.
Denny's is playing the role of Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes. All right. He does a lot of foul here. And one more. We have coyotes, which actually would love to eat some pigeons and chickens. What do you think about this? Is this Denny's or animal? This is coyotes howling at the night. Can you imagine if that's going on outside your bedroom? That's terrifying.
It'd be tough.
What do you think about that, Stephanie? Is that Denny's or animal?
Horrifying animals.
That is horrifying animals. You're right. Oh, my gosh.
3 for 3, girl. Good
Yeah,
job.
you are definitely an animal enthusiast. You're fantastic at this, Stephanie.
Can I give a quick shout out to my husband?
Of course. Go right ahead.
I love you, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Jimbo.
Okay.
What is it? Jimbo?
No, James.
James? You can take longer than that. She said a really quick shout out, and she meant really quick shout out.
Jimbo.
It was almost so fast. All right, Stephanie. Love you.
I love
Thanks
him.
so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Okay, take care. All right, we got some Am I the Jerk emails going to be coming up here in just a couple of minutes that people have sent in. We'll get your ruling on that, including a mom who sent an email said, am I the jerk for what I did to my daughter's bully? It's kind of something here that I maybe could see Virginia doing if one of your kids are getting bullied.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of that mama bear complex in me. If you hurt my baby, I hate you.
Yeah, so what would Virginia say to this mom who thinks maybe she went a little bit overboard on her daughter's bully?
Let me hear it first.
Okay, that's coming up next. Got a ton of emails. I'll try to get through as many as I can here for Am I the Jerk? And Virginia, I would love to get your feedback on this because this is a mom I want to know if she's the jerk for what she did to her daughter's bully. Is this a little too much? She said 3 years ago, my 14-year-old daughter was being bullied for having bad skin by one of the popular girls. My daughter didn't want to go to school and was depressed. She'd come home crying. So we're at the mall one day when my daughter said, oh my gosh, Mom, that's the girl who bullies me. So I go over to the bully and I say, hey, are you Sarah? She said, yeah. And I reached out then and I took her sunglasses off her face. I threw them on the ground. I stepped on them and smashed them.
So aggressive.
I then got in about 8 inches from her face. I said, you don't want to ever bully my daughter again because you know what? I'm crazy. You hear me? I am crazy. This girl, Sarah, was so scared she didn't know what to do. So I walked off just kind of, proud of myself as Sarah was left shaking in her boots. And my daughter's like, oh my gosh, what did you do? Now, I was kind of worried I was going to get in trouble or to be on camera, but I never heard anything about it. And she never messed with my daughter again. Wouldn't even look at her.
Wow.
I never got a call from the girl's mom, no one from the mall, from the school. I felt good about it at the time, but now I'm kind of wondering if really I handled it the right way. Am I a jerk?
I mean, it's so aggressive. You could have gotten in big trouble for doing that.
She takes her glasses off her face, throws them on the ground, smashes them, and then tells her she's crazy. You don't want to mess with me.
I mean, technically, you didn't hit her, so that's good.
Yeah.
But you can't take somebody's property off their face and then smash it. Like, that's real aggressive.
You also can't be terrible and bully somebody like that either. But you're right. She is the adult. You're dealing with a 14-year-old girl. Two wrongs don't make a right.
You got away with it, though, so
Yeah.
no harm, no foul.
I can see why she feels pretty good about herself, but I think now she's just trying to wrestle with, all right, was that a little much? But her daughter's not getting bullied anymore.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be a little much to tell people who they're messing with.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time calling you a jerk on this.
Yeah.
Not that I'm, giving you a high five either, but yeah, I don't know. Jerk's maybe a little strong.
I definitely probably would have said what she said. I don't know if I would have taken the sunglasses off the kid's face and smashed them. I mean, that is, first of all, I have too much respect for sunglasses. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's the next level.
Okay, what do you think about this? Am I the jerk for giving my brother an ultimatum? My brother's getting married, and I'm one of the groomsmen. However, he has invited my ex-wife as well. This is a woman who cheated on me while we were married. She gave me herpes, too. And she's currently dating one of my former friends. She also lied about money, causing me to declare bankruptcy. I can't stand this woman. for doing me so dirty, and the fact that my brother's invited her to his wedding is beyond hurtful. He says that he's known her for so long and that she deserves an invite. He also claims that his fiance and her are now friends. I told my brother that if my ex-wife goes to his wedding, I won't be there. Am I in the wrong for giving my brother this ultimatum?
Yeah, I think you are. I think you have to go. It's your brother, and it's his wedding. He can invite whoever he wants. Yeah, we know why you got beef with her, but this really isn't about you. You need to suck it up and go to the wedding.
Yeah, you hate that she's going to be there. Yeah, she's done a lot of terrible things to you.
What you need to do is hire a supermodel to be your date and just flaunt it and throw it in her face.
Yeah. You think that's it?
Yeah, you can't not go to your brother's wedding because you're having a temper tantrum. Grow up, go to the wedding, get real drunk, and start a fight with her.
Okay, there you go. That's a solution. Might as well. Melissa sent us an email and wanted to know if she was the jerk for not buying this book. She said, one of my relatives wrote and published a book. I told them congrats, and then they sent me an order form to purchase their book. Now, I know I'm not going to read this thing, and I really don't want to buy the book. Am I a jerk if I don't support this family member?
How close is this family member? If it's like a distant cousin, I would just throw the order form away.
Yeah, how often do you see him? How uncomfortable is it going to be if you don't purchase it?
Right.
I hate that, but that always happens. And this probably could cover anything from kids selling things to your family always putting you in these situations where you're going to get a lot of grief if you don't give them some money. Are you a jerk in these situations if you don't give them the money? I think they're the jerk for putting you in the situation.
They are.
To be honest, and I think they're a bigger jerk for that.
But if you're going to see them, just plunk down the $30 for the book.
Okay.
If you guys are close
Right.
family is different. Like a sibling, I think you have to buy the book.
Okay. All right. So go on ahead and do it. Are you a jerk if you don't? I don't know if you're a jerk, but do you want those problems? Just make some things just make life easier and be like, that's just family and that's what happens. So there you go. Some of the thoughts people have is for the wedding. COVID still is a great pass. He should just claim COVID the day before the wedding and then you don't have to go.
That's true. Nobody's going to want you there if you've got... Just say what Jbird said. I woke up with a sore throat and a fever.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you around.
Right, yeah. And people are saying, his brother really is the jerk that, you would invite his ex with all that going on.
Yeah,
that he's done.
Your brother should come first. But, too, he's probably got his new wife or soon-to-be new wife chirping in his ear.
Yeah. And what I'm really surprised at, there are a lot of moms saying that one mom who leaned into her daughter's bully, snatched the glasses off her face, threw him on the ground, and smashed him is not a jerk. They are calling her a hero.
Where my crazy moms at?
Yeah, crazy
Woo-woo!
moms celebrate. So there you go. Well, finally, we got news about what's going on with the Mike Tyson biopic pick. It's going to be Jamie Foxx. I guess it just kind of confirms the rumors we'd heard, and it makes sense why Mike Tyson was not too thrilled about them doing the unauthorized biography because, you know what, it'll undercut this one that I'm sure he's going to get a paycheck for, where Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Mike Tyson.
And the details of Mike Tyson when he was younger are pretty scandalous. And probably Mike Tyson today hopes we forgot.
Well, Jamie Foxx, I'm just thinking about how they're doing this portrayal. Like, at what point in Mike Tyson's life are we talking about? Because I think Mike Tyson, when he really was getting after it, he was, I think, 19 years old, and Jamie Foxx is 53.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky.
So how is this? I mean, if you're talking about Jamie Foxx is now playing what Mike Tyson's doing, Mike Tyson, by the way, is fascinating and hilarious. He's got that Mike's Hard Lemonade commercial that's out. I don't know if you've seen that. That's funny. Everything he does, Mike Tyson makes me laugh. Love Mike Tyson. Seems like a really cool dude. He was just walking on Palm Beach a couple of weekends ago. Oh. He was in town, and I heard a couple people had approached him, and he was really nice and cool with everybody. So he's a solid dude. But, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go off. And is this going to be more acclaimed than what Jamie Foxx did with Ray Charles? Jamie Foxx loves these roles. And he was great with Ray Charles. In fact, there is a website, realrounddown.com, that did the best actor portrayal of a real person. And I would say arguably Jamie Foxx, what he did with Ray Charles, may be the greatest of all time.
It's pretty good.
Because here's what I think you've got to do. It's got to be an established character that you already know. Because there are some other suggestions that are on here that, you don't really know. Like, for instance, somebody was saying, I think Chadwick Boseman deserves one because how he played Jackie Robinson. And he was great in that movie. But the only thing I would say is I don't know a lot about how Jackie Robinson was anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're playing the role, I don't really have anything to compare it to. He was great in it. Chadwick Boseman, I think, is one of the best actors we've ever had. Unfortunately, his life was cut so short. But he's absolutely amazing. Now, somebody, the same text said that he also did an amazing job portraying James Brown. The movie's called Get On Up.
Oh.
And I have not seen that. That might be something to check out. Chadwick Boseman playing James Brown. Now, that's a person that and, would be familiar with. Because they also listed Julia Roberts as Erin Brockovich, but who knows what Erin Brockovich...
Yeah.
How do you know if she's doing a good portrayal of Erin Brockovich?
She's like a regular person.
I have no idea who Erin Brockovich is. I think your biggest arguments, if you want to say the best actor portrayal of a real person, Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash.
Yes, that one's good. Walk the line.
And did he win? I think he won. That was award winning, I think, for him. Yeah. You've got Daniel Day-Lewis as Abraham Lincoln, but I kind of argue almost the same thing. He looks a lot like Abraham Lincoln, but you don't even know.
We didn't hang out with Abraham Lincoln.
There's no documentation.
Right. And I think remember when I got gagged on that whole thing they said was an audio recreation of Abraham Lincoln's voice, and I played it back and he sounded like Mickey Mouse? There's no way.
I think that was a trick talk.
There's no way that was Abraham Lincoln.
You got tricked, Kevin.
Tom Hanks, he portrayed Walt Disney.
Okay.
And he portrayed Mr. Rogers. I think his Mr. Rogers is great. The Walt Disney, I don't know enough about.
I don't know the Walt Disney one, but the Tom Hanks movie was awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He was so good in that one.
Yeah, I would probably actually put him right up there. If you're talking about the best three, it's got to be Jamie Foxx, Joaquin Phoenix, Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. Somebody had said Woody Harrelson as Larry Flint.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he portrayed him pretty well, too.
Okay.
What about Val Kilmer as in The Doors, Jim Morris?
Jim Morrison, yeah. He was very good in that.
I mean, he's a pretty iconic character.
Yeah, I would say that's solid.
Philip Seymour Hoffman played Truman Capote.
That's true.
And he immersed himself. You want to talk about somebody who took it serious.
Didn't he have his overdose right after he did that role? That was like one of his last movies, wasn't it?
He died in 2014.
Wow. The only thing about the Truman Capote, though, same argument, is it's not somebody I really would have known if he's nailing it or not. I'm sure the acting was great, but if I was more familiar with Truman Capote, then maybe I'd say, yeah. Mark Harmon is Ted Bundy.
I mean,
back in the day.
Great portrayal.
I don't think I saw that one. Is that good?
The Deliberate Stranger? Isn't that the name of the?
It's horrifying.
It's a pretty terrifying movie.
Mm-hmm. And then the one, again, kind of the same argument, but it was an amazing acting job. Remember Charlize Theron, was it Monster was the name of the movie?
Yes. She played
that serial killer
female
woman.
Serial killer, yes.
And she looks so different in that I think that's what blew people away. Eileen Wuornos or something like that was her name.
Yes.
If you compare her to the real woman, she nailed it.
Yeah. And she was good. So
very good.
If you had to vote for one of those, which one would you say is the best actor portrayal of a real person?
Gosh, that's tough.
Did you see any of those movies, Virginia?
I did see, I think I saw Jamie Foxx, as Ray Charles, yeah.
That movie was really well done.
I think that's going to be my favorite.
I think it's probably my vote, too. What would you say, Denny's?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That one, and I'd say Val Kilmer because he crushed it. I mean, and that movie's a little bit older, and I mean, Ray's pretty old, too, but
okay.
I mean, Ray was great. I saw the movie twice.
Some people were texting in. You got to throw in Will Smith as Ali.
Yeah, he did Ali.
Never saw that.
I didn't see that one either.
Yeah. Johnny Depp is Hunter S. Thompson.
He did in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and The Rum Diaries.
But again, I wouldn't know what the real Hunter S. Thompson
He did
was
a great
like.
portrayal. Bill Murray portrayed him before in Where the Buffalo Roam.
Oh, really?
In the
Okay.
late 80s, yeah.
All right.
His portrayal was way more over the top. Johnny Depp's was more like... They actually became friends, Hunter S. Thompson and Johnny Depp.
Well, that's kind of a good acknowledgement then if you actually become friends with the guy.
He hung out with him to adopt his mannerisms. And then at his
Wow.
funeral, I believe Johnny Depp was the one that fired his ashes over Aspen, Colorado.
That's cool.
Yeah, real weird story.
Unless you're in Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah, I think it was Rain and Ashes.
Avalanche.
What is it? What just landed on my tongue? That's gross. Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman. Great portrayal. That's a fantastic movie.
Didn't he kind of do the same thing? Didn't Jim Carrey do that thing where he got in character and he wouldn't break it and he went on a couple interviews and you're
Yeah.
like,
He
"You're
did.
weird."
He also did a couple weird when he accepted some awards where he would dress like characters. I don't know. That was like a thing. He was just an odd guy in the early part of his career, Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
Best actor portrayal of a real person. Somebody's throwing out Leo DiCaprio as Jordan Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street.
Awesome portrayal. He also did The Aviator where he played Hughes, right? So, I mean, I don't know anything about Howard Hughes, but he portrayed him in that.
Even Gary Busey from the Buddy Holly story is getting a
Awesome
nod here.
movie. Then I guess you could throw in La Bamba as well with Lou
Yeah.
Diamond Phillips.
That's right. J-Lo is Selena. In fact, I think the anniversary of that movie, like 25
Yes.
years or something like that, just happened.
Oh, that's a good
I might have to
one.
watch that movie again. That's such a good movie.
It's such
Heartbreaking.
a great movie, and she nails it.
Crushes it.
William H. Macy is Winston Churchill.
I'm not familiar enough with Winston Churchill.
I do love William H. Macy,
Fantastic.
though. Everything he does, I'm just captivated.
And then Freddie Mercury. That was played by
The iRobot, that is...
Malik something.
yes.
Romy? No, what was his
Remy
name?
Malik.
Remy
yes,
Malik,
that's
yes.
Yeah.
He was good.
Okay. Yeah, there have been some really great ones. What is the best of all time? And a lot of people were texting in about the Chadwick Boseman portrayal that he had done of James Brown. They said that is
I'll have
fantastic.
to see it. I have not seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Some great comments. Anybody we did not throw into the mix that you could arguably say has done the best portrayal of a real person? 877-979-WRMF here at the KVJ Show. Coming up in a couple of minutes, saw an interesting debate, and apparently, we had this conversation before and actually had even talked to a person this happened to. But I guess this is becoming more common. South Florida law enforcement showing up at your door for your social media posts to warn you.
Oh.
Is this overextending their bounds, or is it a good thing? We'll discuss.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Well, we talked about this before, and we'd actually talked to the woman who was approached. She said, like, at 10 o'clock at night, she gets a knock on her door, and it is Palm Beach County Sheriff that is there, and they were warning her about a little crack that she'd made about masks and dumping them on some local rep's lawn. And they said, hey, just to let you know, that ain't going to be cool. We're not going to be down with that. And she was just like, well, I just think that's odd that I put a little crack on social media and then people show up. But apparently it's not just her, the woman that we talked to. This is now starting to happen all throughout South Florida. There are more and more reports of different people getting visits from at least Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. In fact, they admit to doing about 30 such visits a month.
Well, you don't know if these threats are serious or not. And that's the thing. Like, if somebody gets a threat online and they think it's serious and they call the police or the sheriff or whatever, and they say, look, I need you to investigate this. I'm scared. This person threatened me online. I mean, the cops kind of have to investigate. You don't know which ones are serious and which ones aren't.
I think it's an interesting debate because you're right. To that point, cop and local law enforcement in South Florida that's doing this, they're saying their only intent is to warn online posters that, hey, if you do what you say, you could get arrested.
Yeah. If you make threats about doing stuff like trespassing or giving somebody bodily harm or anything like that, that's all illegal stuff. And they just want to remind you, writing it is not the bad thing. But if you plan on really doing it, they will come bust you.
They say it's a preemptive approach to make sure that this online chatter doesn't escalate into real life crime is the reason why they're doing it. Now, people who are not in favor of it say, this seems like you're treading on my free speech. something I know. I haven't committed any kind of crime, and I don't need the police showing up at my door after 9 p.m. to let me know that, hey, that little post that you thought was so funny ain't going to be so funny if you actually do it.
Don't threaten people online then. If you don't want the cops to investigate.
So you're all for this.
Absolutely.
You think they should do it.
If you threaten people online and then the cops do their job and investigate to make sure that you're not actually going to follow through with your threat, that's just what happens when you threaten people.
The negative is we feel like this is an intimidation tactic being taken by law enforcement to stifle our free speech rights that we have on social media. That is the side that is against it. The side that is for it, like you, Virginia, that thinks it's necessary, says, hey, there have been cases like, for instance, the shooting in Parkland that had happened at the school that we then are criticized if they will say, hey, you know, they had posted some things that were troubling and you guys didn't do anything about it. You just
Nobody
sat
looked
back.
into it.
Nobody looked into it. Nobody stopped by to say, hey, not cool. If you do anything, there's going to be trouble. Now,
Yeah.
me, myself, I think with you more so, Virginia, that I don't have a problem with it. I as far as I know, and this is why I'm just kind of curious. I mean, if they've made about 30 stops a month, and they've been doing this for a little while, there's somebody out there that's listening to us other than the woman we talked to, and she felt like it was an intimidation tactic. That was her commentary on it. She didn't like it. She felt she's one of those people that felt like it was treading a bit on her free right to speech on social media by intimidating me by showing up at the time you did and with who you did to try to curb what I say online because you didn't like it.
Then don't threaten people online. You know?
She said, look, mine was a joke. That was her argument. Said, look, I'm not going to go dump masks on somebody's lawn. Even if I did, is that a reason to show up at somebody's door? It's not like I said that I was going to do anything that incurred violence or was going to hurt anybody.
But
So
you
why
still
come to my
said
door?
it. You still said it, and they have to go investigate. It's their job to make sure that you don't follow through with what you've threatened to do.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious where a lot of people sat on this because it seems like it's a discussion where some people like you feel comforted by it and are rooting the cops on, saying, way to go. If somebody posts something up that sounds a little squirrely on social media, they should have the cops showing up at their door. Other people saying, look, stay out of my business, man.
It would have been great if somebody showed up at the Parkland shooter's house to check it out and see if he was going to follow through with the threats he made on social media.
Now, we've got people for and against this. And they say it's basically a preemptive measure that they are taking because they get criticized if somebody's posting stuff all over social media and they don't react to it, and then that person actually does go out and do something, and then they're like, why didn't you guys intervene? Everybody knew they were posting threats online, and you guys didn't look into that? Michael had actually made a comment in our KVJ TV chat room. He said there's an algorithm that tracks all of your online activity, and it gives you a threat rating that the police will use when they assess you during a traffic stop or a house visit.
A threat rating? We all have a threat rating?
I guess so. I would like to know, what is our threat rating? Because yours is definitely higher than everybody else's here, Virginia. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
I have gotten a little froggy. I fully expect the cops to show up one day.
Yeah.
And I'll immediately explain. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Nicky, this is our 8th time here this week. You're threatening people online again. We got Mike on here from Lake Worth with his thought on it. Some are for, some are against. Some think it's an infringement on free speech. Other people think it's a great idea to try to find those loons out there on social media. What's your take on this, Mike?
Hey guys, thanks so much. Love your show, by the way.
Thanks, bro.
I'm for it. I'm just for the simple fact, like you guys were bringing up earlier, as far as like the Parkland shooting, like they could have done a lot more to prevent that if somebody had showed up on a kid's door. Also, it's 2021. There's a lot of consequences. Free speech is free. You're allowed to say whatever you want to say, but there's consequences to the things that you say.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can say it, but when you say it and you threaten people, the cops may come visit you just to make sure you're not serious.
Mm-hmm. I think
Absolutely.
What's going to be interesting in this, Mike and Virginia, is where you're going to draw the line as to what is a threat. And I know the person that we had talked to, she had just felt like she had made a joke about dumping masks on a congressman's front lawn and that didn't warrant a visit from police.
I think there's a backstory there, too. Like, I think she had been going to the town council meetings.
She might have had that threat level.
She was on their radar before
she
she made that online threat. So I think they already had beef.
Gosh, I want to know everybody's threat level.
I do, too.
I need to check in on this. Everybody can, like, run everyone on KVJ's threat level. I want to see where we're all set. And so the people that are defending her, one text said dumping masks on somebody's yard as a joke is not enough to warrant a police visit. That's BS. Somebody said, sounds like we have a Minority Report society in our near future. Uh-oh. But for the most part, people are agreeing with law enforcement here in South Florida, and they're saying there is a difference between making a comment online and making a threat online. And if there's any kind of action, anything that's alluded in that comment, then law enforcement has a right and should show up. And another text said people need to read the First Amendment. Free speech does not protect you from threatening people.
There you go.
So that's pretty much where people sit on it. So just know if you say something squirrely online, you might get a knock on your door. And they seem to like to show up late at night. So
it's intimidating. And if you're threatening people, you might need to be intimidated.
You think, okay, if you're going to threaten other people, we're going to make you feel a little scared yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Poor Jbird, he's got a fever and a sore throat. He hit me up about 40 minutes ago, said he was already in line to get his COVID test. We're going to find out what's going on with the bird. So.
Oh my gosh, I pray he doesn't have the COVID.
Yeah, well, maybe that might mean results will be coming up here even before the end of the show.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it would. So I hate to have to do this story without him here, but it's topical. The former director of national intelligence has some interesting things to say about the U.S. having secret evidence about UFOs.
Frankly, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public. Some of those have been declassified. When we talk about sightings, we're talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain, that movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for, or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. So in short, things that we are observing that are difficult to explain.
How about that, Virginia? Breaking the sound barrier and there's no sonic boom? That defies what we know, right, of physics?
Totally.
Yeah. So interesting stuff as it keeps coming out more and more about these UFOs. Saw an interesting article in the New York Post to see how people are looking at spring break from other parts of the country after the chaos that broke out over the weekend in Miami Beach. Apparently, there are a lot of parents in northern states that are now making deals with their kids, try to get them to skip their spring break and not come down to South Florida to try to avoid the massive crowds and the danger.
Yeah, it just might be the year to skip spring break.
There's a woman who is listed in the New York Post. She apparently offered her kid the choice between a car or a nose job to stay home.
That's amazing.
And to let you know, if you're one of those people that loves your pet python or your lizard or your green iguana, Florida has banned now several of these invasive species, and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has ruled that within the next few weeks, the breeding and dealing of 16 of the most ecologically damaging non-native species must be stopped. So what that means, if you're an owner, you can apply for a free permit, but the reprieve will last only for the life of the animal. And once the reptile is gone, you cannot replace it with a new pet from the list of banned species.
This is good. We can't have invasive species throwing off the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I know you like your crazy Japanese fighting lizard, but come on now.
Is that thing coming in a kimono? And
yeah.
On a
He's
belt?
got a Chinese star in his back pocket.
Yeah.
He's vicious.
You're right. It's terrifying. Did you see Fort Lauderdale had another raw sewage spill?
Oh, no.
For about 12 hours, delicious human raw sewage went flowing out of the pipes from Sunday night into yesterday morning.
This is the second time this year.
I think it's maybe more than that. More than 1,000 gallons of sewage had seeped all over residential streets and into a storm drain that discharges into the Tarpon Bay Canal there at the Intercoastal Waterway near Northeast 32nd Avenue in the neighborhood between the Shooter's Waterfront Restaurant and Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, if you know that area. One of the people listed in the article, Bradley Thornborough, described the scene as a lazy river of toilet paper and poo.
Oh, dude, that's awful.
Dude.
That's when you just go. You get out of town for a couple of days.
Apparently the smell is horrendous. Oh, my gosh.
That sucks.
There's also another gross thing happening in Florida. A couple in their 40s in Largo was busted for getting it on in front of a Veterans Memorial in broad daylight on Saturday afternoon.
USA?
Wow. The couple was arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior, and the lady was arrested for exposure of sexual organs. Okay, I can't do that.
I bet they're really attractive, too.
You know what? Not as bad as you would think in Florida. I'm not saying they're, awesome or models by any, but I was expecting worse when I saw their mugshots.
No, I'm going to have to go find the pictures.
Okay.
Hopefully there's a video.
Yeah, I still wouldn't want to see it, but it could have been worse. There's a couple in Russia that broke into a movie theater that was closed for the pandemic. They went in there, they had drinks, popcorn, and then they got it on in the theater, but they didn't realize that just because they're in a theater, they do have cameras. And everything was caught, and they were exposed.
Scandalous.
Mm-hmm. Here, an employee at Disney World is saying now that he was fired after he posted TikTok videos drinking the water from different fountains around the park. I imagine they don't allow you to drink from the fountains? I know a lot of fountains now have been shut down if you're trying to get that. Oh, man, it sounds like that's what his TikTok was about. It was about Disney. Hey, Disney don't play, man.
No, and they shouldn't.
That's a cold-hearted mouse.
If you're in there breaking the rules and making TikToks about it, count your time. It's very limited.
No, you're right. They don't play. There's a lecturer at a college in the UK that got fired last year for, quote, aggressive punctuation. Apparently, he'd sent a message that said, "Why don't you listen?" with 6 question marks right at the end. And they're like, oh, gosh, calm down. So they fired him, and now an employment board just gave him $20,000 because they said that's really not a good enough reason to fire somebody.
Yeah, 6 question marks. I mean, the guy just wants you to take him serious.
Yeah, he does. So he seriously got $20,000. Good for him. Guy in Virginia tried to get away from the cops on horseback over the weekend. Apparently, during the chase, he fell off the horse, and a cop accidentally hit him with his car.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's terrible.
That turned quick.
Oh, dang. He was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. A woman in Tennessee got into a massive argument with her girlfriend last week over chicken nuggets. Apparently, it even got physical, and a cop had to come arrest her, and when she did, she bit him just like a chicken nugget. Now she's facing all kinds of charges.
Sounds like she's going through something.
She might be, yeah.
It's not just about chicken nuggets.
No,
there's something else going on.
Yeah, there's definitely deeper issues there. A police officer in California got busted for posting another officer's photo and phone number on a dating site after that other cop started dating his ex.
Dude, you can't do that. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
There's always a trail, too.
Right.
Your little electronic footprint's probably all over that.
That was his cute little retribution there.
So stupid.
And a new tattoo parlor in Brooklyn is offering tattoos with a special ink that disappears in 9 to 15 months.
Really?
Is this genius or is this the dumbest thing ever? Because it really hurts to get tattoos, right?
But if you're not sure about a tattoo and you want to see how it looks and try it on for a few months first, I think it's a great idea.
But if you like it, then you'd have to get it redone with permanent ink and go through the pain again.
But then you at least know for sure you did like it and you want to have it.
Okay.
For somebody like me, I've never wanted to get a tattoo, but that actually sounds like the way to go for your first tattoo.
Right.
Just to make sure you're down with the way it looks.
It probably doesn't hurt as bad as that laser does to get them removed.
Yeah, I've heard that laser is painful.
Yeah. All right, well, something to consider. If you're thinking about a tattoo, you can get the temporary ones. that disappear in time.
Are we still going to do that bit where we get KVJ tattooed? The loser gets KVJ tattooed on their butt cheek?
What was that? Was that for the dance-off?
We talked about doing that for the dance-off, yeah.
Okay.
The loser is going to get KVJ tattooed on their butt cheek.
It's your guys' butts on the line, so I'm all for it. Let's do it. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, there's a survey that found that half of drinkers sometimes feel too embarrassed to order their favorite drink because they think they're going to be judged for it. And you know what? They're right, because in the same right, I've got this list from Reddit about bartenders saying what your drink says about you.
Ooh.
So when you order a drink, you are getting judged. What's your favorite drink and what does it say about you? I got 4 next. Well, if you thought that bartender was judging you for your order, you're right. There's a survey that found that half of drinkers sometimes feel too embarrassed to order their favorite drink because they think they're going to be judged for it. And according to Reddit, bartenders are going off that, yes, we do judge you, and here's what we think about each drink you order. They say the top things that we factor in when ordering your drink are the price, how much booze it has, what the ingredients are, and whether the bartender will judge us for it. So we know the bartender is going to judge you for it. So what kind of statement do you want to make? Would that affect what you order, Virginia, being judged?
No, I could not possibly care less.
Doesn't matter.
No, if I like something, I'm going to order it, and I'm all over the place. Any given day, I could go from beer to the hard stuff and back again.
Okay.
I'm all over. I order everything, so I have 27 different moods.
A lot of these drinks, as I saw this, though, how they broke it down, I'm like, yeah, okay, you could kind of see that, maybe some of these things do kind of fit a typical kind of person that would get this drink. They said, for instance, like Chardonnay. Here's what bartenders had to say on Reddit about what this drink says about the Chardonnay drinker. They said it's a mid-30s woman wanting to get a buzz going while trashing on her suburban life, or a high-maintenance middle-aged divorcee with 2 kids in private school, likely on the prowl for rich single men. That's your atypical Chardonnay drinker.
Okay, all right.
They say Pinot Grigio has no personality whatsoever. Jeez. Wow. Okay. IPA, bearded dads.
Oh, yeah.
That's so true. I'm a bearded dad. I love IPAs.
A bearded dad in cargo shorts loves IPA.
Oh, my gosh. I really was. I was the typecast bearded dad in cargo shorts drinking my IPAs. Margarita. Bartenders say that's old ladies that want to party, and they start with margaritas.
I love a margarita.
Okay.
It fits.
Fruity frozen drinks. Fruity or frozen drinks are typically new drinkers.
Yeah, I don't get down with those. When I was young, I loved daiquiris.
Right.
But I don't know. I've just outgrown them. There's too much sugar. I know too much.
Yeah, it's tough now. I see my daughter, her friends, they'll drink like the same drinks I drink at that age. And yeah, you're right. I know too much.
It's a young man's game.
It is.
It really is.
Okay, here's what the vodka drinkers need to pay attention to. This is what bartenders are thinking based on your drink. A vodka Red Bull. They're usually on some kind of drug.
What if you're tired? I have ordered those when I've been at events and I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I wish I was on drugs. I'm just tired.
They'll probably look at your age because and I do order a vodka Red Bull every now and then. They're probably looking at me and be like, all right, bearded dad, he's just not having an IPA tonight. So they wouldn't think any of that. But yeah, my daughter was talking about how they had somebody goes in, they get pictures.
Pictures of vodka Red Bull?
I'm like, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh my gosh.
A picture of vodka Red Bull?
It doesn't feel healthy.
No.
It's definitely not.
No, it's
good
not
for your heart.
No, it's your body's like, what do you want? What do you want from me? You're giving me Red Bull and vodka at the same time? Vodka soda with a splash of cranberry. Bartenders say you're either an obnoxious white girl or a slender gay man.
There are definitely obnoxious white girl drinks.
Oh, man.
That's just a Cosmo with fizz, it sounds like.
Cosmo, they said for a cosmopolitan, bartenders say this person is almost certainly a pain in the ass. Okay. Vodka martini, you're a fancy drunk.
Okay.
Almost sounds like that gets a little respect.
I like that.
If you go vodka martini. You go with an old-fashioned, bartenders, they'll think old-fashioned drinkers rarely know jack blank about cocktails, but it's a cheap way to pretend like you do.
It does. It looks like you know what you're doing.
Okay. A Bellini, Do you know what this is?
Yeah, so a Bellini is champagne with like a peach nectar in it.
Oh, okay. So you order a Bellini, bartenders think you have a tab at the Olive Garden. Okay.
It's not a compliment.
That's not okay. Whiskey sour means I'm drinking underage.
Whiskey sours, those are good, but again, tons of sugar.
Yeah, and
that sour mix. It's the margarita
it's a younger
sour.
crowd,
yeah.
Uh-huh. Long Island iced tea. You want to get drunk quick and you're cheap.
And you're a maniac.
Yeah, I trust me, it does. When I've seen that, I've been out with people that I just met who got a Long Island iced tea. I'm like, they must be a maniac. And an hour later, they're a maniac.
They're climbing the walls.
They are.
Flashing people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you drink a Long Island iced tea around me, I can't believe I'm hanging out with you.
Jack and Coke says you'll be fighting someone in a few hours. Okay. And they say Tequila Shot says I don't have to work tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
That's what apparently it means.
That's fun.
There you go. Bartenders do judge you based on what you order. So Winter Cruise is going to start setting sail again. Here, at least in this little area, you're going to have a chance to start cruising, it looks like, on June 12th. Now, it's not going to be here in South Florida. It's actually going to be in the Bahamas, but Royal Caribbean International is going to be kicking up a schedule doing 7-day sailings aboard the Adventure of the Seas. Going to be leaving from Nassau, Bahamas. It's going to have a schedule running through August, and I guess what the plan is they're going to be going to 3 different destinations: Freeport on Grand Bahama Island, Cozumel, and they're also going to be checking out that Coco Cay.
Okay, yeah, their own little resort.
Yeah.
Here comes Suits, our resident expert, all things cruises. Hello, Suits.
How you guys doing?
Good. Now, the thing that I'm seeing about this, because you're probably saying, okay, well, what is the ship going to look like? They say that the onboard capacity will be reduced, so you won't see the same amount of people. Health protocols will be in place, including mask wearing and social distancing, except when sitting in restaurants or on beaches. But this does, to me, beg the question. Let's say I'm laying out pool deck. Do I have to have a mask on? And then what kind of bizarre tan am I going to get on my face from that? So when I go back to work a week later, am I have a white mouth and a tan face?
So I don't know for sure, but I think they let you take the mask off when you're actually sunbathing or you're in the pool because you don't want a wet mask that can lead to drowning. But other than that, I do think if you get up and move around the pool deck, you have to put your mask on to actually get off of your lounge chair.
I'm just wondering how big of a pain that's going to be, because you see this, and it seems like a lot of restaurants you go in, no one's ever saying anything. I mean, as soon as you walk in and they give you that nod and point to your table, masks come off. I don't see in South Florida a lot of people wearing masks. You go to Disney, I know when we were up there, they are very diligent about going around telling you to wear a mask. So when you get on this Royal Caribbean ship, where are they going to be set? Are they going to be set like a restaurant in South Florida, or are they going to be set like Disney? And if they're set like Disney, it seems like that would be a lot more inconvenient than being at Disney, having to try to wear a mask on a cruise ship.
They're set very high. In fact, because there's been some cruising going on during the pandemic, and I've seen to the point like when you can't just get off the ship on your own, you have to be in a COVID bubble with excursions, and if you break the COVID bubble, they will leave you behind. They won't even let you back on the ship. I saw stories about a few people who were cruising the Mediterranean last year, and they ignored the rules, and the cruise line just left them. They told them they couldn't get back on the ship. They handed them their passports and basically said, fly home.
No way,
so
really?
They're very strict just because it creates such a mess if they have a COVID incident. And they've been good about it. I was telling Denny's that in Singapore, that's where they kind of restarted things, and Royal Caribbean's been sailing, and so has some of the local cruise lines that sail out there, and they've had 100,000 passengers since November without a COVID case.
Wow.
So they figured out a way to do it, but they're very strict when you go on board. It's not going to be a normal vacation experience, I don't think.
Yeah, and they don't play. I didn't know in the Bahamas, if you violate the mask ordinance that they have, it's a $200 fine or 30 days in prison.
Whoa.
Wow.
30 days in prison. So you get cute and you go play that thing you've been doing in South Florida, in the Bahamas, they ain't gonna play.
If you're going there, wear the mask. It's not worth it. It really isn't. If you don't want to wear a mask, these aren't the vacations for you.
Yeah, well, here's what I thought too. The requirements, all members of the ship's crew will be vaccinated. So I guess if you want to work at Royal Caribbean, you have to get vaccinated. There's no choice. And adult passengers must also be vaccinated, but they say travelers under 18 will be required only to test negative for COVID-19. So if you're over 18 and you want to cruise, you're going to have a vaccination, I bet.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean, this announcement came out yesterday, and they also announced that Celebrity Cruise Lines is going to restart in the Caribbean the same time out of St. Martin, and both were the same situation. Carnival hasn't announced a restart yet, but they're talking about not needing the vaccine. Mickey Arison was saying that just the other day, that he doesn't think that they're going to require the vaccine, which I think is interesting that Royal Caribbean would come out and say that we are definitely requiring it, and Carnival might go a different route.
Whoa.
Don't know for sure yet because they haven't announced their restart.
Yeah.
But Royal came out right off the bat, and yeah, you need a vaccine if you're going on this June cruise from Nassau.
It sounds like people are getting a little bit cooler with the vaccine. This recent survey they did about that, 85% of people said that they would cruise if vaccines were required.
Okay.
Yeah, the bookings are actually through the roof. I've seen some of these cruise lines having record booking years for 2022 and beyond. I guess people are just itching to go, so it hasn't hurt the actual bookings on the cruise ships.
How's that stock price you bought?
I am up quite a bit. I bought it like average around $40. It's almost at $100.
Nice.
And they're really not in operation yet, so I'm feeling really good about the Royal Caribbean stock. They've only got one ship in operation and 2 more planned out of over 20, so
nice work, Sue.
I'm looking forward to when they get back full into operation. I'm hoping to sell it around 120.
You're kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street right now.
He looks like
The
the
low
low budget
budget
Street,
Wolf of Wall
doesn't he?
Street.
You got that black suit today? You like to kill like the Johnny Cash of stocks. Coming up here in a second, who on the show is most likely to complain about our other coworkers? We'll break it down for you coming up next.
The KVJ Show will be right back. 97.9 WRMF.
Jbird's apparently in line right now. He woke up today with a fever and a sore throat. And in this pandemic, you're like, ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh's right.
Sounds like COVID. So who knows? He'll find out. But he's in hour 2 of his wait in line to get that quick rapid test.
So hoping it's not COVID.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was trying to work on his nerves yesterday. So when he was sitting down during commercials, I was like booty dancing on him. He was just sitting there and complaining.
Yeah.
But if I booty danced all up on somebody that has COVID, then I definitely have COVID.
Well, you might have to get the test.
If he's positive,
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a test.
Yeah.
But it might be too early. I don't have any symptoms.
Yeah. I hear you. It's still a little bit of a hassle here. As we roll out more vaccines. And somebody texted us in earlier. I hadn't heard this. Is this true, or is this another fake text we got here? They said if you get COVID, you have to wait 90 days before you get the vaccine. 3 months.
Really?
Have you heard that? I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Is that a real thing? I don't know. I'm just kind of curious.
You don't need it right away because you have the antibodies, but yeah. Are you not allowed to get it?
I don't know. Yeah, that was my question. And I saw that DoorDash is going to be adding on-demand coronavirus test kits, and some are going to be available with same-day delivery. They're doing it in test markets right now, and South Florida's not on the list. But they say that you'll get your results within 24 to 48 hours if you get one of the DoorDash tests.
So the DoorDash guy comes to you, and you swab yourself and then give it back to him?
Great question. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work to get it that fast. And I don't know if you saw Sunday night downtown Miami at the Paramount Miami World Center, the tower there. They had the LED board that goes across it. And remember that Gloria Estefan song that she redid, Get on Your Feet, Put on Your Mask?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently the lyrics of the song were scrolling there. They're trying to get the message through to all these spring breakers that are not wearing masks. And spreading all the variants all throughout South Florida.
Yeah, they were showing videos of South Beach, and nobody's got on a mask.
Yeah.
It's like nobody.
Yeah, so as soon as we find out from the bird when he gets it, we'll let you know what his results were.
He's in the line, so yeah, we're all just waiting.
Got some who on the show here. Who do you think on the show is most likely to complain about other coworkers? Who would that be, Virginia?
Probably me. If somebody upsets me, I don't like to bottle it up. I like to immediately confront it, complain about it. We got to get this out, and we got to squash it.
Okay. All right. Who on the show is most likely to leave their shopping cart in the lot between cars?
I mean, I do that a lot.
You do? Okay.
Because I've got the kids with me.
Okay.
And if I go return the cart, then I'm leaving Rocco in the car by himself. And
Yeah.
that's not safe.
Denny, Suits, thumbs up, thumbs down. Are you guys returning your carts? Suits is a no. Suits. He's just leaving it out there. Denny's, of course, he's returning his. Okay, who do you think on the show is most likely to wind up in an insane asylum?
Bird.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think so, too. I think he'd actually enjoy it. Yeah, the first thing you want to know is what do they serve for food?
He fit right in.
Yeah, if they had great snacks, he'd be all into it. Who on the show is most likely to accidentally shoot someone on a hunting trip?
Oh, my.
You know, honestly,
Probably you.
I think it is me.
Because you have
Yeah.
been messing with guns.
Yeah, I go out shooting with a buddy of mine, and I really don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I got my concealed thing, but I still I look at a gun, I'm like,
You're
you know,
new.
I'm still a newbie. Like some people that really know a gun, they're kicking shells out. They're like, I can barely get the clip out of the gun. It's, I mean, it's a mess. I would easily shoot. In fact, if I went on a hunting trip, there's a better than not chance I'm shooting somebody.
I hope your friend's not listening.
I know. That's why he's never taken me hunting. I don't even know why he takes me shooting. I wouldn't. Who on the show is most likely to owe money to an illegal gambling bookie or a loan shark?
Ooh.
I don't know. Denny's was just talking about starting up his
poker league.
Illegal gambling poker ring. So maybe it'd be Denny's.
Yeah. I don't really gamble. You don't gamble.
No, I made it a point. I did sports gambling once upon a time, and I bet against my team, and they still lost but didn't cover, so I double lost. And ever since that, I've swore off all sports gambling. I don't even mess with it. Who on the show is most likely to join a protest?
I don't know. It depends on what we're protesting.
I probably would. I would do one if it moved me.
I would do one too.
But I think Denny's is a dirty hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah, them dirty hippies love a good protest.
I can see him doing a sit-in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be like weed related.
Totally. Legalize pot, man.
It'd be Denny's and Bird. They'd both be sitting there together. Who on the show is most likely to get arrested for an altercation with police?
Ooh.
I think it's Bird.
I think it is Bird. I don't fight the cops.
I think he'd just be hammered, and he would, he'd probably have a flat top cop that would be a little bit too pushy. He'd have something to say about it, and then it would get ugly.
Gosh, I want that body cam video.
Oh, it would be amazing. And it'd be kind of egging it on, be going, dude, he really needs tased, doesn't he?
You should tase him. But it's just a traffic stop.
If somebody was ever asking for a tasing, it's that cat right there. All right, I want to check in with the poll we started impromptu because Krispy Kreme talking about giving you a free donut if you get the vaccine every day throughout this entire year. There are about maybe 5 or 6 Krispy Kreme locations throughout South Florida.
All you have to do is go in and show them your vaccination card, and you get 1 donut a day.
So where do they sit right now? We've had the poll up for about an hour at kvjshow.com. Who has the best donuts? You got Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, Jupiter Donuts. You've got your Dandy Donuts. You got Mojo Donuts and even Voodoo Donuts on there. Okay, so who has the best donuts? Impromptu KVJ poll after talking about Krispy Kreme, giving you the free donuts if you get the vaccine with locations throughout South Florida. They've got Fort Lauderdale, about 4 in Broward, I think. And then they've got one in North Miami Beach, and then there's also one in Hialeah.
And you can actually go and watch them make the donuts.
That's fun.
And get them hot and fresh. There is nothing better than a hot, fresh, right out the grease donut.
You know it, girl. You know it. Okay, so right now the voting goes like this. Jupiter Donuts kind of running away with it. They're in first place.
They are awesome.
Top vote getter. Then at 19% of the votes is Dunkin' Donuts. Then you got Krispy Kreme, third place with 11. Then you've got the Dixie Cream Donuts on the Treasure Coast in fourth place with 8%. And then Mojo Donuts is in fifth place with 5% of the votes. If you want to know the best ones, and if you want to change the outcome of that, you can go to kvjshow.com and you can vote. All right. From what I can gather here, Jbird just texted me. He said, I got my quick results back.
He knows?
Apparently, he got his results back.
Oh, my gosh. I'm
Is he
so
COVID
nervous.
positive or not? We'll find out next.
40 million downloads strong. Check out the KVJ Show podcast wherever you get podcasts or at WRMF.com. Click KVJ Show.
Yeah, people hitting us up and confirming what I had mentioned just a couple minutes ago about if you get the COVID, you've got to wait 90 days to then get the vaccine. Somebody else had texted and said, yeah, the reason you got to wait to get the vaccine after an active infection is because you have the antibodies. And if you already have the antibodies, your body won't generate an adequate immune response to the vaccine.
Huh. Okay.
So if that were the case, and Bird, who woke up with a fever and sore throat today, does have the COVID, he'll be 90 days removed at least from getting his vaccine.
Oh, my gosh. I hope he's not positive.
He's gone in to get his quick test here already this morning. That's why he's not in studio with us. We got to find out for certain, and he is on right now. I believe the results are back. And Denny's tells me that he's Seacresting us right now.
He didn't even tell Denny's what it is.
No. It's still a big mystery.
I do like the suspense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're all waiting.
Hello.
Hello, Bird.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You sound a little tired today, my friend.
I am a little tired. I'm feeling under the weather, as they say in the business.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got
We
your
got
voice a little bit.
COVID Connie on our hands.
Yeah. Virginia,
Well,
trust me, Virginia's been really calm about it all morning.
No, I've heard. I've gotten a few text messages from people.
Yeah. She's all worried because she was giving you a lap dance or something yesterday.
Remember when I was booty dancing on you and you were like, please stop, you're gross.
Yes, I do remember when you were putting your butt on my back without consent.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm a witness. So
I'm really regretting that booty dancing.
Okay, we've got the results back, and are we looking yay or nay on the positivity for COVID?
Is the witch able to give me a little drum roll? Pretty good. I got my results in, and I tested negative for COVID.
Thank goodness.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Oh, my
Yeehaw.
gosh.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay.
I was pretty nervous because, my dad hasn't been feeling well. So I think he gave me whatever he's got.
Okay.
But it's not COVID. So
Yay.
How's your fever?
So I took aspirin, and it dropped my fever down to 100 degrees, and then it crept back up to, it's at 101 right now.
Okay. All right.
So the aspirin brought it down, but then it started to wear off, and it crept up a little bit. It was at 102 this morning.
Okay. Well, nurse yourself there, kick that fever, and then hopefully we'll get you back in.
Yeah, I saw a few people ask if I could come back for the podcast. I don't think I should, just because I do still have a little bit of a temperature going on here, and I do have a sore throat, so I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just feel better.
Yeah, we'll put you on the bench today, and hopefully you can kick it to come back in tomorrow. And if not, we can at least get you a microphone, have you remote tomorrow. So.
Well, I have to come in tomorrow, Kevin. It's World Record Wednesday, for God's sake.
Oh, you're right. That's true. That's true.
What stupid thing are you going to try to do and fail at tomorrow?
I was supposed to. I bought a bunch of balloons from Walmart. It's the most balloons popped with your ass in a minute.
I love it.
All right.
That's fun.
Exciting stuff. Well, you definitely got to get better for that. Those balloons don't keep.
No, they don't. Okay, guys. Well, I'll see you. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Kev, or Virginia, or Suits, or Denny's. If you guys just want to call me later and just get weird.
Yeah, okay.
Feel better. Take a lot of vitamins and hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
I will. All right. I love you. I love you all. Have a great
love
day.
you too.
All right, Denny's, what you got for us here today?
All right, this one's for the bird. The sickness that you have is not even half as strong as you are. You will make a full recovery if you just believe.
Aww.
Look at that positivity.
So sweet.
so nice. I love it.
Feel better.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.